Is it possible for the fourth entry to be the best one yet? Find out with my review of Bad Boys Ride or Die. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if you are a brand new subscriber or a brand new viewer. My name is Kyle, and today we're going to be talking about Bad Boys Ride or Die. This is the fourth installation of the franchise. Will Smith and Martin Lawrence have returned as officers Mike Lowrey and Marcus Burnett. In this new entry, their deceased captain, played by Joe Pantoliano, is framed for something he did not commit, and as such, the Bad Boys must return to clear his name and to figure out who's really behind this. Now, when it comes to Bad Boys, I do own the first two movies on Blu-ray. I think I got it for maybe $3.99 at Best Buy back when they were still selling movies. I would say that I like the first movie just fine. Bad Boys 2 is the very definition of a guilty pleasure movie. There are certain aspects of it that I really like, but the third act just gets a bit too outrageous for me. They're basically committing a war crime at the end of that movie. And I actually didn't see Bad Boys for Life until last week. And upon watching that one, I personally found it was the best of the three. Sure, the action was not as great and it wasn't as flashy as the Michael Bay movies, but I felt like the story was better and it felt the most cohesive of the three. And most important, it actually got me really excited to go and see Bad Boys Ride or Die in the movie theater. I've had a couple days to think it over before I sat down to review it, and I think that this is my favorite of the four. I actually really liked Bad Boys Ride or Die, and it might actually be the best of the franchise so far because they might make another one, who knows. Speaking of a cohesive movie, I actually think, right off the bat, this movie has the best pacing. It is, I believe, an hour and 50 minutes, so it is shorter than the previous movie, and I felt like all three of the movies had various pacing issues. This movie, the moment it starts going, it doesn't stop until the end of the film. It is a non-stop thrill ride. And the action, which I just said I was critical of the previous movie, has most certainly improved here. There are a number of action sequences that are very crafty and inventive, especially a sequence involving an elevator and a shot reverse shot POV, which I actually learned after the movie that Will Smith operated himself. Now that is dedication to the craft right there. And even though I'm not crazy about POV shots on human faces, I do feel like it was done very effectively here, and I appreciated the filmmaking on display. Now admittedly, the plot in this movie is wafer thin, but to be completely honest, you're not there for the plot. You are there to see Will Smith and Martin Lawrence as police officers Mike Lowrey and Marcus Burnett, and how they play off each other, and their chemistry is still amazing, and they play off each other just so effortlessly. And this movie is able to expand the more dramatic aspects of Bad Boys 3 in a way that impacts both these characters, and not in a way that ruins them or tarnishes their integrity. In fact, it makes them even stronger. Of course, they've known each other for 30 years, but the way that they play their characters as people who have known each other for almost 30 years, you really feel that chemistry as they've matured. And I like the fact that they're matured because they can't do the exact same things that they did in the first two films. What I also really like about these two new movies are the supporting actors of the organization Ammo. I think they're a really good team, and I very much enjoyed watching them on the screen. I also really like Armando from the previous movie. If you haven't seen it, I won't give that aspect of it away, but I really like him in this film, and you can definitely see a certain path to possible redemption for him. And I, of course, am not going to forget Reggie. For those of you who have seen the movie, you know, but if you've not seen the movie, get ready, because it certainly is a crowd-pleasing moment through and through. Having said all of that, this movie is not perfect. I do have some gripes here and there. The most obvious one is the fact that this movie is very similar to The Fugitive. There's even a scene where all the U.S. Marshals and officers are meeting and they say, okay, the crash happened a couple hours ago, average foot speed, and of course it cross-cuts with them running through the woods, and I'm like, okay, that is straight out of The Fugitive. Like, they completely ripped that scene off here. On a more personal level, the trope that I hate the most in any movie is when a character dies in the previous entry and in the next movie, they bring them back via a video recording that they send to the main character that says, hey, if you're watching this, it means that I'm dead. And every time I see it, I just think it's so lazy And it's just the filmmaker's way of, okay, we need to get to the action as soon as possible. How can we get there? Well, we'll just have them send a video recording and it'll tell the main character to go here, do this, do that. Outside of a rather bizarre recasting of Theresa Randle, which was very jarring for me. I'm not sure what's going on with her or why she wasn't in this movie. There is a cameo from an actress that was the definition of an eye roll. And for anyone who's seen the movie, you probably know exactly who I'm talking about. I just do not find that actress particularly funny, and the scene was just, it almost felt unnecessary. Like, they could have gone to another place with another character, but maybe because Will Smith knows her very well, maybe that's why. I had a really good time with Bad Boys 4. The audience I saw it with was cracking up as well as I was. It really was a good time at the movies, and from what I've seen so far, it's on its way to becoming a box office hit, which I personally think it deserves. Will Smith and Martin Lawrence still remain incredible together. Yes, the movie certainly has its flaws, but I really had a good time watching this, and I would recommend it. I'm going to give Bad Boys Ride or Die a B+. If you made it to the end of this, what did you think about Bad Boys 4? Let me know down in the comments. In the meantime, do not forget to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. And check out the links to my social media pages in the description box below, as well as my website, kjjpictures.com. Thank you all so much as always for watching, and stay tuned.